Hey guys, just a quick note before the video starts. This is my first time doing a gameplay commentary, so any advice you guys have for me would be great. And also tell me if you think I should keep doing these videos. I want to know if you guys like them, because if you do, I will probably buy a more high quality mic and maybe up the quality of the video. So just leave a comment and tell me if you like these type of things, and that's it. Enjoy the video. Hey guys, MBSC1 again, and this is going to be my first gameplay commentary video, so it may not be perfect, but I figured I would try and give it a shot because I've never really done one of these before. If this works out well, I'm probably going to get a more high quality mic, because the audio quality for this is probably not very good because I'm just using my laptop microphone. But on the left we have Graham Westby, and he's using Seismitoad Garbodor. It's actually the same deck list that Jason Klaczynski used to win Nationals this year. And then on the right we have Michael Perez using Virizion Gensect Raichu. So a lot of people think that Virizion Gensect is pretty heavily favored in this matchup, but in actuality, Seismitoad Garbodor can do certain things, and depending on the flips, can actually win this game some of the time. So it's an interesting matchup, and I thought you guys might want to see it because Virizion Gensect may pop back up for Worlds, and it's just a game that was taken at my league. On Saturday we just have leagues, and Graham traveled up to my house, and Michael is at my house pretty much every weekend, so I thought I'd get a video of them playing together. So Michael's just deciding what he wants to start with here. Three basics, kind of a lot to start with, and I believe Graham is going first. He's going to take that mulligan. Michael, again, changing what he wants to start with. Yeah, so Graham is going to start. Pretty rough start with a Shaman, that kind of stinks, but he should be able to get out of it. He's got 3 Floatstone, and it looks like Michael accidentally drew too many cards, which happens way too frequently, honestly. Yeah, so Graham's just trying to decide. It looks like if he wants to attach that head ringer to the Genesect, or if he wants to save it. He attaches the water to Shaman because he knows on the next turn he can just retreat it for that 1 energy and then use Quaking Punch. I actually don't really like that play. I wish he would have attached that Floatstone to the Shaman, because you really need to make sure you have enough energy to Grenade Hammer in this matchup, and he only runs 3 water. So now if any of his water energy are prized, he's not going to be able to Grenade Hammer, and that's probably going to be game changing, honestly. If you can't Grenade Hammer in this matchup, you're most likely going to lose. So yeah, I think he should have just attached the Floatstone to this Shaman. I believe he's going to computer search for a Trubbish though, so he's going to be able to attach that Floatstone to the Trubbish. It's going to be nice as well. But yeah, so he's going to play the end, decides not to attach the head ringer to Genesect. Pretty good in play, in my opinion. I definitely like that. You want to save those for the Virizions. If you can just prevent Emerald Slash for as long as you can, it's going to be really helpful in this matchup. So definitely like that play. 6 new cards. He's got the AZ. So far, not much he can work with. Oh, nope. He got the Toad and the Double Colorless, so next turn he's going to have that Quaking Punch if he chooses to do so. Most likely will. Unless for some reason he Sky Returns, but I doubt that. And he's just going to pass to Michael. Michael does not wake up on the sleep flip here. Going to drop an Ultra Ball. I'm guessing he's going to search out a Virizion right here. I'm not sure what else he would really want. Definitely important that Michael gets a tool down on his Virizion this turn. It's going to pretty painful discard discarding that grass. You really don't want to discard any grass if you don't have to in this matchup, because you know, one of the ways that Seismitoad wins, most of the ways that Seismitoad wins in this matchup is by discarding all of the Virizion Genesect players' energy. So Michael actually discards 2 grass, which is going to hurt him really badly, I think. That means he's only got 8 left in the deck, assuming none are prized. So that's gonna hurt pretty bad, actually. So he's gonna attach to it. Pretty standard play there. He has the switch. I don't think I really like that either. I actually wish he would have switched into Pikachu, because that Pikachu could have taken a hit from Quaking Punch instead of the Virizion, so that when he's gonna Emerald Slash, he has a fresh Virizion with no damage on it. So I actually wish he would have promoted the Pikachu there. This also gives Graham a chance to Flare Grunt off that energy on the Virizion, just making it easier to prevent Michael from Emerald Slashing. So Michael's going to discard 2 supporters right here, which also really stinks to get a Shaman. Good to take advantage of the Shamans while you can, because pretty much after Garbodor goes down, those are pretty much just dead cards, so it's going to be helpful. Yeah, if Michael can't get the Muscle Band down on this Virizion, it's probably going to hurt pretty bad. At least a Muscle Band on something. You really need to get those tools down so your opponent can't Headringer. It's going to set up for a full 5, though. That's pretty nice. And I think that might be it. No? Yeah, that's it. He's just going to pass back to Graham. Oh, so Michael decided that he's going to take back one thing. Graham lets him just because League. He's just going to Verseeker for the N. Not anything. Well, that actually could be game changing if he had forgotten to do that. That could have just made him lose, honestly, because he could just dead draw from that point. Graham is going to Juniper away his AZ and his Lysander. Not bad. He's probably just hoping. Well, honestly, he's in a fairly good position right now. He probably just wants the Crushing Hammer, and he does get the Headringer. So he's going to discard that Grass for the Crushing Hammer. Very good, and that's going to set Michael back for sure. Michael's in a pretty bad position at this point, actually, because he is going to be item locked with no energy in play and a Headringer, so that stinks. But Graham is only doing 10 damage until he starts using lasers and muscle bands, so that's going to be helpful. I actually don't think Graham should have attached that Headringer. I think he should have just waited, because pretty much either way, Michael is going to power up the other Virizion. So even if Graham didn't Headringer the active, I think it would still result in Michael powering up the benched Virizion, and then after Michael has 2 energy on the bench Virizion, he could Headringer that Virizion instead, and I think that might have worked out better for him. But nonetheless, that's not what he did. Graham just going to attach another DC to Toad. Gets another head on Crushing Hammer, so he's running kind of hot with those. He's still got 2 left, and Michael still has no energy in play. And what Graham kind of has to do at this point is just start doing more damage. The 10 every turn is just not going to cut it. He needs to get that Verbank down, get a laser in play, get a Muscle Band. It shouldn't be very hard to hit any of those cards. He's burned through a good amount of cards right now, and he hasn't hit any of those cards. I think 1 laser, actually, but either way, he still has plenty of resources to play. He's got the Verbank, so that's nice. Yep, going to slam that down. Virizion Gensect doesn't really run any stadiums, except for sometimes Skyfield, and then just a Quaking Punch. Yeah, at this pace, he is not going to knock out the Virizion at any time soon. Really needs to pick up that damage output. But on the other hand, Michael really needs to get an Emerald Slash, so neither players are really in a great spot. There's no really real commanding position at this point. All really Michael can do at this point is just attach to Virizion. Yeah, so that's all he's going to do. He's just going to attach and pass. Graham's got a couple options in his hand. He can Shadow Trade for that laser back and play it. He's got another Float Stone he can put down. Probably put that down on Shaman if he's not going to discard it. Yeah, definitely put it down on Shaman. And he's just going to Juniper again, it looks like. He's reluctant. He's taking it back. And then he plays it again. So, fresh 7 cards. Hoping for a laser and a Muscle Band for Graham. Another Headringer. That's going to hurt Michael. Let's see what's he got. Maybe he doesn't have a laser. I feel like if he had that laser, he would have just slammed it down by now. But he doesn't. He whiffs again. Oh my gosh. Graham not drawing very well, but he's hitting those heads on Crushing Hammer, so that's going to help him out. And he's got the Headringers down, so it's not in too bad of a spot. And Michael's just going to attach and pass once again. Finally got the Muscle Band for Graham. It looks like he actually chose not to attach last turn. Oh no, he attached to the other Seismitoad. He attached the double colors to it, so I believe I saw 2 water in Graham's hand, so that means that he did not prize any water energy, which is going to be very helpful. It means that he will be able to Grenade Hammer this game, so that's going to give him a huge advantage. Graham Colorsing for a Mighty 8. Let's see if he can get a laser finally. Looks like he didn't actually. Wow. He might have some prize. I think he almost certainly has at least one laser prize. An Ultra Ball away a hammer, and then Ultra Ball, the crushing or the enhanced hammer. It's not going to be as important. I still think it would have been nice to conserve it. I thought I saw a third Ultra Ball in his hand. I actually would have liked to see him put down the third Ultra Ball. There's a little cut right there. It's just because my camera needs to stop recording and start recording every 10 minutes. So nothing has happened. All Graham did was Quaking Punch for 30, and now it's Michael's turn. He actually grabbed a Trubbish with that Ultra Ball, and he didn't put it down. I'm kind of wondering why. I don't know what else he wants in that bench spot. Maybe he's hoping to, like, Ultra Ball it away with that last Ultra Ball in his hand. I'm not really following his train of thought there. But we'll see. Michael pondering a bunch of dead cards, most likely. I see a Plasma in his hand. I think he's probably going to attach that to the Virizion unless he has another Grass. He just saw Graham discard his only enhanced hammer, so that should not be a fear for Michael. Xerosic could get rid of it though, so and it looks like he opts not to attach and instead Chorus, I guess hoping to hit a Grass Energy off this 9. I actually really wish he would have attached that Plasma, because if he attaches another Grass, that's just one more Grass Energy that he's not going to be able to Emerald Slash onto a Gensect, if that makes sense. So he's not going to be able to Emerald Slash for as long with an attachment from a Grass Energy this turn. And it looks like Michael did get the right amount of cards this time, so that's good. Oh, he's got the Grass Energy in his hand, so he's probably going to put that down on Virizion. Oh, no, don't do that. Don't do that. Yeah, so instead Michael opts to retreat his Virizion into his other Virizion. I really don't like that play at all. I think if he was going to do that, then he should have done it on the next turn. So what happens with this strategy is the Virizion that's going to Emerald Slash is taking the damage instead of the Virizion that wasn't going to Emerald Slash taking damage, which is a worse way to go about it in my opinion. So Michael has discarded something like 5 energy right now. 5 or 6 grass are in the discarded pile. He's going to be able to Emerald Slash now, so that's nice. Got the Raichu. And Graham, all he did in his turn was just play Laser and Quaking Punch. Very, very simple. Michael, I think, asking Graham if that 1 damage is supposed to be there. It is from the Laser, so it's supposed to be there. Poison damage is going to start adding up here. Michael finally attacks using Emerald Slash. Those very well might be his last 2 Grass Energy. So we'll see what happens. Michael actually switching to the harder to see damage counters. Not sure why. But he does have 90 on him, so Quaking Punch won't knock him out. But it will knock him out next turn. So Graham's going to Ultra Ball his entire Garbodor line away and just fail search it. Probably just trying to thin cards from his deck. Not a bad play at all. I think he knows that Michael doesn't run Lysander, so that Garbodor is pretty much safe on the bench unless it gets sniped by Gensect 5 times, which is very doubtful. So yeah, I kind of like that play, just getting rid of the 2, the Garbodor and the Trubbish. If anything, actually, I might have discarded the Shaman instead of the Garbodor, just because the Shaman is a dead card, but I guess it could be argued that you would want to keep the Shaman because at least it can use Sky Return. But either way, it doesn't make too much of a difference. We're just going to see Michael. Oh, so I see what happened here. Michael and Graham had thought the Virizion was knocked out because it had 90 on it, and then Seismitoad with a Quaking Punch and a Laser Bank is going to do 80, but in actuality, Virizion resists Grass, so they're fixing it and putting it back because Virizion actually has 20 HP left. So Michael's going to attach the DC to Raichu here. It's good that he has the double colorless energy because that just means he has 1 more energy in his deck than most Virizion Gensect decks, so that's going to be helpful. What I really want to see him do here is just Emerald Slash with that Virizion, let it get knocked out, and then bring up the Raichu. Unless he knows that there's not enough grass left in his deck to Emerald Slash or something like that. But it looks like instead he's going to opt to retreat manually the Virizion to the Raichu, and he's going to take a knockout on the Toad. That's going to be helpful. He's finally going to take some prizes, so he's actually going to be winning in that term. Let's see if he's really going to do anything else. He's just going to Shadow Triad for the grass, or for the chorus. Not grass, you can't Shadow Triad for grass. Shadow Triad for chorus, and then knock out the Toad. I actually would have liked to see him Shadow Triad for the Plasma, just because you really need energy in this matchup, and if he runs out, he's pretty much going to lose. Yeah, Graham hits a third heads on Crushing Hammer. That's going to be kind of devastating if Michael doesn't have enough energy left in his deck. Yeah, he has to have at least one more grass in his deck to be able to Megalo Cannon. Not sure the exact count of grass in his discard pile, but it is a lot at this point, and I think if he has any prize, it could make it so he's not going to be able to Emerald Slash at all. Or, not Emerald Slash, Megalo Cannon. Good play from Graham here, I really like that. Just going to discard the double colorless on Raichu. He realizes that his out to winning here is just getting rid of all of Michael's energy, so that's basically what he's trying to do. I think it's a very good play. Not to mention, it was the only sport in his hand besides Lysander, and I think Lysander here wouldn't have been as good. So Michael just analyzing the board, realizing that he's in kind of a tough spot. I think Graham is definitely favored right now. I think most likely the reason Michael Shadow Triad used Shadow Triad to get back Colress was because he was dead drawing. So maybe it might have been better to get that back instead of the Plasma, but I couldn't see the rest of the hand, so I'm not 100% sure which play would have been optimal. It's going to get a hefty, looks like 7 cards? 8 cards? 8 cards. And he's just really hoping for energy at this point. If he can get a Plasma and attach to Virizion, maybe Emerald Slash on the Gensect, that might be nice. He also could opt to just attach to Gensect manually and not Emerald Slash the energy onto it. But instead he's just going to pass. Still has a lot of cards left in his deck. It's not too far out to think that he might whiff energy for a couple turns with that many cards left in his deck and that little energy left in his deck, so kind of makes sense. Graham is going to Lysander to the Virizion here. Most likely going to take a knockout. All he needs is a Muscle Band or a Laser, and he's got the Muscle Band, so he's going to knock it out. Both players at 4 prizes here. Graham is looking fairly favored right now. Michael only has 1 energy on board, but luckily Graham only has 1 Crushing Hammer left as well, so we'll see what happens. Another thing to note is Graham does have a Toad on the bench with a Water and a double colorless, so all he needs is 1 more Water, and he will be able to Grenade Hammer with that. So that's probably going to be the way that Graham is going to close out this game if he is going to win it. Michael going to Skyla, most likely going to grab a Professor Juniper, I'm guessing. Michael loves his Junipers. Gotta go fast. Just pondering his options. And he goes with the N instead. Kind of an interesting choice here. Kind of curious as to why he went with N over Juniper. He might actually... There's a chance he's out of Junipers or Sycamores. I think it's doubtful though. I'm pretty sure he has some left. Maybe he just wants to disrupt Graham's hand. That's the only real reason I can see him wanting to do that. And I'm guessing he's just going to pass, because I don't really know what else he can do with this. So Graham is going to play the N, shuffling back the N that Michael just grabbed with his Skyla. Graham counting his deck just to see how many cards are left. Oftentimes you can get close to decking yourself out with this Seismitoad Garbodor deck because you just can burn through your resources really quickly and just Juniper every turn. A lot of times, like most decks in this format actually, you can just Juniper every turn. It's a 4 cards, not much he can work with. He's got Laser, Shaman, Floatstone, and something else. I'm not sure what the last card is, but he's just gonna Quaking Punch, put Raichu up to 80. Michael's turn. He's really just hoping to get energy here. If he can, his only real shot at this point is powering up that Gensect and knocking out two Seismitoads. But instead he's, oh okay, so he's gonna attach to Virizion and then take it back and attach it to the Gensect. Michael throws down the N. I imagine he's a little bit aggravated at this point because he might feel like that this is a good matchup and he's not winning it because of his mistakes or crushing hammer flips. Getting 4 cards here. And he's just going to pass to Graham. As a third muscle band for his Toad. He's got a Juniper, a Toad, an N, a Verbank, some other cards. Michael pointing the Gensect. Hopefully has an energy in his hand. If Michael can get an energy and an N here, I think he has a chance to come back. Okay, so he's got, that's kind of his one out to winning this game, and he's got it. So, yeah, if Michael can just knock out this Toad and then knock out one more Pokemon, he's actually, or one more EX, he's actually going to win this. So yeah, Michael actually making kind of a huge comeback here. He's looking pretty unfavorable for him for several turns, and he's looks like he's coming back. Might be able to take this game. Graham getting 3 cards, Laser Bank, Toad. Michael contemplating putting down the Gensect. Not sure it makes a huge difference. I think I would, just because it would thin one more card out of my hand to make sure I don't dead draw against Seismitoad. You want to thin as much as you can in these decks so that you just have your supporters and energy, because that's all you really do when you're using Virizion Gensect against Seismitoad. Is you just attach and play supporters pretty much. So you want to make sure you can have access to those as much as possible. He is going to Megalo Cannon. Did not put down the Gensect, not sure why. Maybe he just wasn't sure about it. He's going to do 20 to Shaman. Definitely the right play with the 20 to Shaman. Graham has a laser. And actually, I believe if he hits a water energy, he wins. Because he can Grenade Hammer. Yeah, he can Grenade Hammer and knock out this Gensect. So he's going to N. And yeah, let's see. If Graham hits this water right here, that will be game. So we'll see if he gets it. He has about a 50-50 shot of getting it, it seems like. He's got a pretty thin deck. Oh, and there it is. So that is going to wrap up the game. Graham with Seismitoad Garbodor actually... Oh, look at him laughing. I was sitting right next to him. I think I was yelling at him, like telling him he got super lucky or something like that. Yeah, so he's going to Grenade Hammer this Gensect, and that is going to be his last 2 prizes. Oh, I'm sorry. That actually isn't the end of the game. Graham has to take one more prize. I forgot about that. But it's looking pretty abysmal for Michael at this point. But yeah, Graham just actually does need one more prize, so I was wrong about that. Let's see what Michael can respond with. Oh, he does have a Lysander in his hand, so that means he is running Lysander. He's just going to pass, it looks like. Yeah. And then... Oh, no, he's scooping. Yeah. Alright, so that's it. Yeah, so Seismitoad Garbodor actually can beat Virizion Gensect. I feel like Virizion Gensect, as long as it can conserve enough energy, it will win most of the time. But it looks like, yeah, Michael looking very disappointed. Anyway, that's the end of this video. Comment if you want to tell me something, like the video if you like the video, and subscribe for more.